team. In fact, our sports department, Tom Menino joining us right now, along with Patrick Pierce. Would love to see those pictures too, I am sure.
Patrick and I went out and talked to all the people down there at the bottom of the hill. Patrick's one of our sports producers here, and here's some of the video we have that we shot. Patrick and I both had to kind of park at the bottom of the hill and immediately just get out and start walking, because I mean, you see right here, people just helping people out. And I'm sure Patrick agrees that was the coolest thing we saw, was just people trying to pitch in and help out.
Maybe modesty prevents you from saying that, Patrick, but knowing the kind of guy you are, I imagine you got out and pushed a few folks.
Oh yeah, we definitely pushed a lot of people today. That was the biggest thing, was everybody trying to get up. That's a very hilly area right there where Valley and 20th going over the top of the mountain is, and it was really just gridlocked from every direction right there. And so we was pushing every car that we could find to push, and there was not just us, but there was at least 15 other people out there doing nothing but pushing cars all afternoon, trying to get people to where they're trying to go, trying to get people home.
There were people that were just trying to, who just stopped. I mean, who were just stopped in the road. We saw a couple cars that were literally just abandoned in the street. That's the worst thing you can do, because you're basically just creating another obstacle for everybody on the road. This car in particular was just hanging out there. Eventually, though, we were able to help the woman and be able, as we zoom in there, to see there's nobody in the driver's seat. We did help that woman and got that car off that road. It took 4 or 5 of us to get that one done, if I have that right, and just left. And yeah, it was definitely nasty.
Nasty, yeah. There you go. Good piece of shooting there, Patrick.
Well, and Pierce and I were talking. There's an accident here we saw as well. Pierce and I, we're talking about this, and he's the expert more than me. Obviously, he's the Alabama guy. I'm from New England, but this is one of the worst you've seen for snowstorms. True?
Yes, because usually, from my experience with snowstorms around here, we might get a little dusting, mostly on the grass, but generally the roadways stay pretty just wet. They don't get a lot of snow sticking on them. This storm, the roads got white before the grass. It was kind of unusual, at least from my point of view on that, and it just caused a lot of people, and a lot of people don't know how to drive in this because we're not used to that here. And
everybody was pitching in to help. We saw so many people helping. I mean, rear-wheel drive cars just could not get up the hill. It was virtually impossible to get any traction. And we were there's Patrick right there, try to chip in there, and on the left there, trying to push a car up. That car took a while, but some people would get up to the McDonald's there and just give up, and then turn in, and and that I think was probably the best option.
That totally makes sense, because you on 20th Street, you not only have to go up it, but if you're heading downtown, you have to go back down it. So what's happening on the other side of that?
That was, and people kept, and we kind of felt bad because people kept asking us, so what's ahead?
Yeah,
I don't really know. I mean, we're
the same as what's ahead.
We saw a lot of people walking over 20th Street. There was a lot of people stopping at the McDonald's in that area down there and just parking their vehicles and walking. But at least most people was getting their vehicles off the road. The problem is most people were coming across with people just leaving their vehicles in the road, just getting out in the middle of a lane and just start walking, abandoning their vehicles. And there was one guy, he was in a Mustang, and he had slid sideways and was completely stuck, blocking an entire lane. And we had to push him into the grass.
Sheriff's car.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that. I noticed the change in the tire. Patrick and I also talked to some people. We have an interview here with Mike Franklin from Trussville. If we gave out an award for maybe the most upbeat person we ran into, it was probably Mike from Trussville, so he seemed pretty upbeat. Let's listen to him.
We was pulling fiber in the building over there at Protective Life, and we saw what it was doing, but we thought, they already said it wasn't going to do this much. And then, like I said, after we got our stuff pulled, then everybody called about school being out, so I couldn't make it out there. I parked my truck there, and like I said, I've been walking for about an hour or so, and I'll make it to the hospital, get her, and then I try to get home.
Which hospital are you going to?
To Cooper.
To Cooper?
Yeah, that's where she works at Cooper. She's been there about 12 years.
I mean, this is pretty amazing accumulation. What are some of the things you've been seeing?
Well, just gridlock and people being crazy. That's the main thing. If people wasn't crazy, it's just people get too anxious, and there's no sense in that. So I don't, But like I said, if everybody just sat back and relax, it'll all work out. So.
And just you feel confident you're gonna make it on?
Yeah. I ain't got far to go. Yeah, I'm up and over the hill. I ain't got far to go at all. No problem.